Hey there friends and viewers, this is Hengest with TGN. Welcome to a League of Legends video here in the Summoner's Rift. I'm going to be dual queuing today with my buddy Pureshield. You probably know him well. This is a replay, so this is a game that I played in the past. It's not live or anything like that. We're just going to be doing some analysis here. Quick word about duo queuing, or dual queuing, however you would like to refer to it. Basically, the matchmaking system tries to get you into other groups where there are maybe two friends queuing together. It's a very well-designed system, but in general, dual queue tends to be more competitive than solo queue, simply because of that you may have another person or another couple on the other team playing together and coordinating well with ganks. You can see that Teemo accidentally took the large wolf there with the poison. I thought about getting angry about that, but I was pretty chill when playing this match. He really should have known that would have happened. It's actually a very large setback for a jungler. If somebody takes your big wolf, it can deny you, I want to say about a quarter level of experience, and obviously a considerable amount of gold that can affect your ganks in the very near future. So, big mistake on Teemo's part, but hey, you know what happens, especially with champions that have DOTs. Now, I did want to say that if you're going to dual queue and you want to carry a match, it's best to do that as a jungler and also as a laner, so a top laner or a mid laner, a solo laner, I mean. Check out this awesome play by Pureshield up top. He saw that Shyvana closing in for a gank, put down that preemptive ignite even through the exhaust, gets up his early shield, and starts trying to bush juke the Shyvana. Unfortunately, Shyvana does have the red buff, so that's going to slow him down. You would always get the red buff if you're going to do a level 2 gank like that. Extremely aggressive. Shyvana is one of the better champs to do an early gank like that, actually. And he almost survived. That was an amazing play regardless. And definitely, even though, what's-his-face, Rengar got that assist, the favor is still on for our team because Pureshield obviously got that 100 extra gold from the first blood. Lee Sin is also a very great early game ganker. In fact, he's one of the strongest level 2 junglers that comes to mind. He's great for landing those early ganks with the Sonic Wave and red buff. However, this match, like I said, I was very chill, lax. You know, I just busted out like 2 hours in the gym. I just wanted to chill. So I started Cloth 5 instead of Boots 3, and I wanted to wait a little bit for my first gank, which is going to be downstairs here. Well, first gank attempt, but as you can see, this ward placement here at the tri-bush just spotted me, and the enemy team is going to play it a psychological game with me as if they didn't know I was coming. But as you can see, that Graves lucked out there. He was playing far too aggressive, got the stun combo from the Zenith Blade off Leona, and had he not quick drawed out of my Sonic Wave, he would have easily been killed there. So very ballsy play. He lucked out. But with the Soraka, obviously, he can get a sustain up back very quickly, just eating one of those potions. So I'm going to go for an Akali gank here. Look at this clairvoyance. This Soraka player was doing a great job of using the CV, which is actually an underused summoner spell these days ever since the cooldown was nerfed a little bit. And that really played out in their favor, man. He spotted me like 3 or 4 times early with that clairvoyance. So all you guys out there that don't like the clairvoyance, man, it's huge, especially when you've got stealthy champions like Teemo and, you know, really quick champions like Lee Sin working together. But here I go. I try to do a flash Sonic Wave here, and she counter flashes that. Probably would have killed her had she not counter flashed that. Nice play there by the Akali, evading that Sonic Wave. So you can see, without basic boots, I'm having a tough time ganking here. I mean, it was a combination of strong defensive plays from the enemy team and a little bit of luck as well, I would have to say. Upstairs, I was asking Pureshield, do you need help with that Rengar, man? I know Rengar's a really tough laner, especially if the jungler kind of babysits him a little bit. And he said, no, I'm good. And then we quickly realized that he starts to build ability power. At this point in the match, he has 39 AP, so obviously he's got some runes going. And that's a really interesting build, AP Rengar. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that guy, as he does do some interesting things. But as you can see, looks like Shyvana's going for a gank here. Shot a gank, but got spotted by the last little tidbit of that ward right before it dissipated, and my team is going to be fine here. They go ahead and ping me to fall back because they knew about this ward in the tri-bush. Now, it's very unusual, in my experience, dual queuing in League of Legends, that you actually get really solid players. I want to say that these two guys were also dual queuing, this Leona and the Graves, as they were very well coordinated, and our team was actually a lot better than the average player, I would say, as well. So this is a great match, primarily because both teams are relatively evenly matched, but more so because when you dual queue, you just don't typically get a lot of teamwork. You get a lot of nasty attitudes, but every once in a while, you'll just get a match that is really great, and you remember it. This was one of those matches, and I felt I should cast it because of that. Here we just saw Soraka use her CV there on the bush to see about my position, because obviously they were coordinating that Shyvana gank, and Teemo's doing the wise thing and playing very passively here, as he would have easily been taken over had he extended beyond the midpoint there. I'm contemplating another gank here on Akali. If I could land a Sonic Wave, we could deal a lot of damage, but as you can see, because I lost that early wolf, I'm actually level 4 when I would be level 5 right now. It's really going to affect my damage output, especially with regards to Sonic Wave. But we had sight on her regardless because of, I'm sorry, what is it called? Lee Sin's E. It is Tempest. It reveals the sight. A lot of people don't realize that Lee Sin, I mean, he has to be the best counter to Akali, because he can straight up Tempest right in the middle of her Twilight Shroud and reveal her. So she basically, like, you don't need Vision Warriors, you don't need Oracles or anything to counter her at all. Just a Lee Sin that's relatively tanky. This Rengar goes very ballsy and goes for a dive there. Yes, that exchange, they did get an assist out of that, which meant that they got more gold out of that exchange, but that was just a really sloppy play there by Rengar, in my opinion, because he did have to, leave his lane. It's going to give J4 the free farm, and when you do the calculations at the end of the day, that's in our favor, just because Pureshield is going to be able to have that free reign up top while Rengar's moving around, roaming, and also playing dead there for a while. It's also going to give me a nice bit of free farm here in the mid lane. Hopefully I don't mess up any last hits. There we go. Yeah, getting that easy farm there at the mid lane, kind of making up for the big wolf I lost early. I know I keep mentioning that, but as a jungler, as I become a more experienced jungler, it is a big deal. Huge setback, but and also it's not all bad. It does give your mid lane a good advantage there in the first minute or so. With regards to experience, he can land an early kill. You can see the enemy team is playing rather aggressive in the bot lane, and I believe I do communicate to my team at this point. Let's just see. Oops, wrong one. We are blue. I say I'm going to come down there. Look, another spot there from the CV off that Soraka player, really keeping her eye on me. And that she's doing a great job of that, because they are playing overextended and they're a little bit scared that I'm going to come downstairs, which I was planning to do. However, she did see me at Wraith, so that obviously gives them the opportunity to continue playing aggressive down there. So I do want to pick up my red and then head bot really quickly. Part of the reason I wanted to cast this game was because there's a hotkey for this. It is F3, right? There we go. Reveal all teams. Part of the reason I wanted to cast this match is because I hadn't played Lee Sin in a long time. I typically don't jungle that much anymore, and when I do, I've been playing champions like Jace a lot more often. There we go. That's what we like to see. A nice stun lock combination from Leona. Allows Graves to get out that easy buckshot damage at close range. That was a big play downstairs. In fact, Leona Graves is an amazing combo. I play both those champions a lot, and when I play Graves and I gotta support Leona, it is so powerful. I think it's a really underrated comp downstairs. At this point, I was pinging Teemo to come straight towards me so that I could shield him and then kick this Rengar off, as I did hit level 7 recently, but he decided to go around the long way, actually closer to Shyvana, and probably could have saved his life right there, but he decided to do his own thing, which is fine. I mean, he's been playing quite well, so I'm not really going to complain about that. You'll note that I don't have my basic boots yet. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the gold for it, just barely. I did build my Wriggles early just to help with clear, so that does leave me a little bit vulnerable to Shyvana, actually. I kind of lucked out in that last exchange that I was able to shield a minion to get away from that gank combo. And I did want to point out that I do believe that Shyvana and the Rengar did dual queue together, as Pureshield and I did. Similar, actually very even, in fact, because it's a top lane jungle combo, which can really sway the course of a match if you guys coordinate well with the jungle top lane. So they're going to be making a lot of plays together. You'll notice when they do make plays, they're always together. And at this point, I did want to go top to help out Pureshield, as he's looking to get ganked again right now. So you got to be really careful, as this AP Rengar build is actually quite bursty. It's interesting he bought that lucky pick a little bit of GP5 action, maybe because he's behind on farm a bit. But you'll notice how much damage his roar does. It's just very bursty, far less sustained damage than the AD counterpart. But actually, I'm mistaken. He was not behind on farm. He's actually ahead on farm because Pureshield's been getting ganked. I'm like, alright, it's my turn to step in here, so I want to play aggressive here on Rengar. He does a smart thing and steps out of tower range before turning to fight me. And the bush is a great place for him to engage, but Sonic Wave kick combo, gonna be overwhelming for him, and I have to use my flash there because I still don't have boots to escape Shyvana. Just a nice little route there to get some extra tower hits in, and deciding not to pursue that kill as she has too much HP and I don't have the movement speed to kite her. Overall, pretty sweet play there. Worked out well in my favor. As I was saying, I haven't played Lee Sin in a while, but he is one of my absolute favorite champions. And people definitely recognize him as being a powerful champion, and even after saying that, I still think he's overrated. And I don't mean that in a sense... Did I say overrated? I meant underrated. I don't mean that in a sense that he's overpowered, even though he is extremely powerful. It's just that he's such a fun champion to play, and such a pleasure to watch, you know. He's one of those champs that is super dependent on one ability. That is, of course, Sonic Wave, his gap close. If you're not landing your Qs, you really can't be effective on Lee Sin. Which also means he's not a player for the beginner. He's one of the more difficult champions to play, especially in the jungle to land those ganks. So, I mean, I really gravitate towards champions like that. I'm a big fan of Lee Sin, and I really should play him more often as he's just super powerful. I'm going to try to land another gank downstairs. This time they didn't spot me, so I'm going to have one opportunity here to land a Sonic Wave, and I want to do it on Graves. Unfortunately, Graves does have the quick draw, so the physics cannot interact well together between these two champs, but I am going to be able to kick him into the wall there. I got silenced by the Soraka. Nice little silence by her at the right time, almost saving the Graves. Really prevented me from kicking him towards my team, but we still managed to get that kill regardless. And here we go, Rengar ulting and going for the kill on Teemo. Yet again, a very ballsy play by that player. Kind of worked out in his favor. You can see how much damage Pureshield just dealt to Akali. I'm able to pick up that kill on Rengar as, look at this, Shyvana going way overextensive, but is able to pick up that kill with her W AoE. And I decided not to snag that last kill on Shyvana because Pureshield does need a little bit extra life, and the tower was going to rake her up regardless. So, I mean, Lee Sin does, in my opinion, this is my opinion now, he does carry harder than Jarvan, just because he's more well, it's hard to say, but yeah, I do believe he's more versatile because he can play both support and a bruiser at the same exact time by shielding people while using that to simultaneously gap close for kills. So I do believe that gold going to Lee Sin is more valuable. However, Jarvan played by Pure, he's just an amazing Jarvan player. That's his main champion. He's really the best Jarvan I've ever seen. So, you know, obviously I need him to have gold as well if we're going to really carry this in a big way. Wisely placing some wards there, getting ready for a dragon fight perhaps, as I just grab up some free farm down here, although not so free, as Graves is going to deal some harass to me, but certainly not enough to make anything happen. As I'm going to now vacate that bottom lane for my team. Let's take a look at farm just a little bit here. It does appear that Rengar is top on farm. Look at his build. Deathfire Grasp on Rengar, top solo, and he has 3 unused potions. Interesting. This is kind of a nuke spec there on Rengar, as he can be very bursty out of the bush, surprise people. Yet again, these two players coordinating well and picking up a kill here again. As Pureshield, I wouldn't say he got baited, he was just pursuing the kill on Rengar, and Shyvana was in a position to reinforce. Looking at this match in hindsight, I really should have been, you know, helping out top lane a little bit more. However, I wanted to keep my mobility. Notice that Rengar got picked up there by a shroom kill. Kind of a bad Sonic Wave there. This is an AP Teemo. I do believe that Riot made some significant changes to the poison on Teemo recently, and that just makes him so powerful. So much DOTs now. He's really a super strong mid laner or top lane. You can play him however you like, actually. But combined, you know, his shroom damage with the poison and an ignite, I mean, man, you get so many after kills with Teemo, as you just saw there on the Rengar. There's lots of pings going around on the map. I'm going to hand off the first blue of the day to Teemo, and that's really just because he hasn't really needed it up until now, you know. he's doing great on mana. He's managing to really bully Akali, and so I just take the blue. It does help with damage and clear, obviously because of the CDR and the additional energy regen, but it's just not that powerful on Lee Sin and compared to a lot of other more mana dependent jungles. But of course there is a lot of farm there to be considered. I would say CDR is valuable on Lee Sin to the point where you would consider taking blue buff over some other players, depending on how fed you are. At this point I'm way ahead of Shyvana on clear, but she does have more kills than me as she's just been playing a lot more aggressive. And given my playstyle this entire match, starting with the Cloth 5, I'm just not looking to play that way. I'm going for more of a late game carry build right now. So this is a pretty risky dragon, actually. We need to be really careful about this. I do have my Smite off cooldown, so it's not going to be a problem there. They could have easily counterattacked that, but they decided not to. And you're going to notice that Timo and I do the smart thing, and we just wait, because they did believe that we went over the wall, I think. And we just waited there to come in from behind and close in for this team fight. That was actually a lot smarter play than initiating at that point in time. Take a look at these physics here. So I did just gap close there on what's her face, but kicking the Shyvana in the opposite direction so that she can Skyrim, use her ultimate to get back onto the tower. Very interesting exchange there. Overall, a big play by our team. You can notice I just flash Sonic Wave there, the Graves. With the red buff, there's absolutely no chance of him getting away. And shielding Ignite there on Pureshield, saving his life most likely. Meanwhile, Rengar pushes up top real strong as we did just win that 5v4. And he's going to try to take a tower out of this, but Pure and I teleport back really quickly. I don't know if he's going to have the time to take down this tower. It doesn't appear so, as Pureshield is going to use his flash to gap close there. And will he turn around and try to... Yeah, he does ult and turn around, only to have that knock up under the tower. Wow. Miscalculating that banner pull. He probably was expecting that banner to subside by the time he charged back in, but that was a big play there by Pureshield, turning around that fight, as a Rengar did have full HP at the time of that engage. Big play. So at this point in time, we just decide, yeah, their strategies, they're going to try to carry top lane. That's pretty much been their strat this entire time, with Shyvana camping his lane. We're going to deny that really big right now by just pushing the top lane and pretty much shutting down Rengar after this point. As he did kind of go for a very harass heavy build, building a DFG, trying to shut down top lane, but Pureshield just not having it. And here we go. You're going to notice how much of a counter Lee Sin is to Akali right now, as you just have so many utilities of dealing with her when she's in the Twilight Shroud as a Lee Sin player. She really could not escape me at all. Shyvana was wise to not engage there. She did get an Oracles though, so that's going to make me want to focus her down in the next team fight, obviously, because that's a big investment at this point in the match, at the 19-minute mark. Actually, she probably got it a lot earlier than that early Oracles. Just missed the kill there. Looks like Soraka getting a little bit overextended. Overall, our bottom lane definitely pummeled the bot, and so did our mid. So in exchange for them trying to carry top really hard, it just cost them a lot. As you can see, we're not that far ahead on global gold, but we certainly are far ahead on kills by a mile here. It does appear that they're going to catch up a bit there, with again these two partners roaming around together. Rengar coming out in for a gank with the red buff is a very dangerous target because he can gap close like nobody's business every time he goes through a bush, and then obviously that red buff will slow down his pursuit target. But as you can see, I said something along the lines of, yeah, let's bro slam the top lane, just push all the way to their base as they are trying to team fight downstairs and everything. That's fine. We're willing to give up a couple kills down there in exchange for maybe an inhibitor, or just start pushing this top lane, because that was pretty much their strategy, is to push top. So we kind of denied that a bit. Hero tank a little bit excessive amounts of damage. I was expecting Pureshield to focus Akali at that point, but he just kept wailing away on the tower. Could have easily picked up that Akali kill, in fact, had he switched targets. But that's fine. I think we'll get this tower no problem. As a response, though, Shyvana is going to be moving up top. Not aware of my position at all. Probably could have snagged a kill with her fireball. Had she known. You can see how badly this Akali's been shut down. 07 with 79 farm. She's just not a threat at all. In fact, Pureshield's going to try to grab that kill. Kind of greedy there. And kind of feed a little bit to those three players. Nice exchange there. Double kill goes to our Graves. He's getting pretty fed at this point. And at this point in the match, I remember thinking, wow, this team was dealing so much damage. just chasing people down with those poisons. Crazy. At this point, I remember thinking, wow, I rarely ever play defensive. You know, I never play passively. I'm usually a very aggressive player. But starting the Cloth 5 and just taking it easy all match, trying to chillax, just something I hardly ever do in League of Legends, it's really starting to pay off for me. I'm never used to not dying at all, you know, undying, just not giving up any kills. And so I kind of make a commitment, yeah, I'm going to continue playing this way, which is kind of alien to me, and see if I can go a match without giving up kills. So in response to that, obviously, I built the Hex Drinker, the Ninja Tabby, a Fudge. Pretty tanky build here. That's something that Lee Sin's very, very good at, because most of his damage comes from percentage-based, you know, the Sonic Wave. What is the second ability called? It is called Resonating Strike. Let me just read it off to you really quickly. Lee Sin dashes to the enemy, hitting by Sonic Wave, dealing blah blah physical damage, plus 8% of their missing health. So any champion that scales with percent of health, like Jace or Garen, or, you know, any of those champs that have kind of an execute ability, or just something that doesn't depend on raw attack damage as a stat, you can afford to build them extra tanky. Wow, this is a terrible flash by me. But yeah, you can afford to build them extra tanky and still deal a considerable amount of damage. So that's why it's so common that you see Lee Sin's stacking a ton of lifesteal for survivability, and just overall MR, armor, HP. You know, just build him very tanky because it's so easy for him to survive. Miscommunication there. I told Pureshield to take that red, but he missed the spear. So I just went ahead and smote it. That was pretty funny. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, I've just been going on and on about how amazing Lee Sin is. He really is a very versatile champion. Here we go, the very aggressive play, trying to ward over the wall there. I wanted to kick Graves into Pureshield to deal lots of damage, but I was forced, after missing the Sonic Wave, to kick Shyvana into their Rengar as a response, just to get away. So that's really the most aggressive play I've made all game, and it didn't work out for me. There you can see that Rengar just tried to DFG me to hell. He tried to nuke me right there. And even with that Ignite, I was able to shield through his damage. And also the Hex Drinker came into play there. That was, of course, a response to him building AP. As well to this, you know, the Akali can be very dangerous in the late game, although she's been shut down really hard. But building that Hex Drinker actually was pretty smart, because most of their damage is coming from Rengar, ironically, who's building AP. So that just managed to save my life. Overall, definitely we won that exchange. And I'm going to get a lot of free farm there up top. That's a lot of farm. And I'm probably going to use that to build. Let's see, what do I have so far? Yeah, I'm going to use that to finish off my Triforce, no doubt. While my team picks up a dragon, though, this Akali could steal. She's not worth a whole lot of gold. She's worth nothing, actually. So, yeah, big steal there by the Akali. She knows she's going to die, but it doesn't matter because she's 0-9 right now. So that was actually a very good trade for their team. And they actually get Jarvan as well, giving up that kill to Graves. Although, yeah, our Graves is snowballing now as it's just out of control. Now I'm finally going to close in all the way from top lane, try to reinforce my team a little bit, as this Rengar did just DFG another target down. But look at the DOTs and the Shroom placement there from Teemo at Ignite. All those damage over time abilities I was telling you about. Just crazy strong AP Teemo, man. This guy really knows how to play this champion. There we go. Red buff Lee Sin, simply impossible to escape at that point. We're going to be able to push down this tower easily after that play. That dragon fight pretty much cost them the game, I'd have to say. It's going to be real tough to come back from that. As I do now have the gold for a Triforce. Pureshield almost has the gold for a Triforce. He got double Dorans. And yeah, that's some great team play. And this is actually very uncommon because it is a dual queue, like I said. Hardly ever do you see that level of coordination from a team that is not coordinating at all. I probably could have responded in time to save that Graves. It's tough to say, but he was definitely overextended in my response a little late there, as I was trying to grab up their blue buff, stealing that from I guess they would give it to freaking Shyvana. I mean, I don't even know who they would give it to. Maybe Graves. They really don't have a proper AP carry at all. But yeah, we can go ahead and yeah, let's just fast forward a little bit here, as it is kind of slowing down a bit. Part of the reason I wanted to cast this match is just because of how defensive I played, which is kind of a change of pace for me at least. There, Pureshield hesitated to grab that kill because he wanted me to shield or something for the assist, which I was kind of messing around and didn't pick up on. There we go, a bit of a fight here. Cataclysm. I accidentally kicked the Akali out of that Cataclysm. That was kind of ridiculous. That's actually something we were talking about after watching that. We're like, wow, the kick from Lee Sin kind of has that fumble effect. You know, the champion kind of bounces around a little bit. It can really mix up the position of the team. But it could really benefit from a hard stun if you kick him into a wall. You know what I mean? Like a Vayne Condemn or, you know, Poppy. You know, there's a lot of champions that have that mechanic. I think it would be a fair buff to Lee Sin, in fact, just to have him have that hard stun. Because he does kind of start to fall off a little bit. Although any champion that scales with that, you know, percentage-based damage is very strong in the late game. I just feel like he could benefit from having that hard stun. But, I mean, a lot of you are probably facepalming right now because you think Lee Sin is overpowered. A lot of people believe that. I don't, personally. Wow, picking up that kill there with the Sonic Wave. Kind of a KS. I wasn't expecting that. I just wanted the assist. It does appear, though, my team is free to push this top lane right now. I did want to flash after this Akali. There we go. And, wow. Hardly evading the Sonic Wave there with a counter flash. And I was contemplating diving over this wall and trying to kick somebody down here. But again, I'm trying to go for that undying play. See if it works out for me. Whoa, look at the Graves taking lots of damage. The shield saving his life from that ignite. Big play there, as Akali would have been able to get up quite a bit of gold from that, I believe. That would have been a shutdown. As you can see, the kite fight game is pretty much in our advantage. That Graves really needs to be careful he doesn't quick draw too closely to me, because I could easily turn around, gap close on him, and then kick him straight into my team. However, I didn't want to go 1v4 there for a minute, as Teemo was just kind of absent-mindedly pushing top, which isn't a bad choice, actually. We do need to start pushing down a lane. Rengar looking to engage a Teemo. Let's see how that works out in his favor, as this Teemo... Oh, man. Like, anytime you want to chase the Teemo, you better have, like, an Oracles or something. You need to be aware of those mushroom placements. I mean, look at how much damage that mushroom will do to this Akali. Just crazy. Like, you chase a Teemo and you step on one mushroom, AP Teemo, obviously, that will straight up kill you. It's huge. And AP Teemo is so powerful, and he's also like the most annoying champion. I mean, who doesn't want to chase a Teemo, you know what I mean? He's the most annoying looking champion. He's tiny, he's obnoxious, and you just want to kill him. At least that's how I feel about him. But every time you try to, you step on his mushrooms, and that's just a disaster. There you saw me just kick Soraka straight into the wall. And she can actually cast during that time, I believe. As long as she's not in transit, she can still cast. So I think that's kind of ridiculous that there are so many champions like Alistar or what have you that when they knock somebody into the wall, they get stunned, but not Lee Sin, who has like the most powerful knockback in the game. You know what I mean? There we go. Rengar trying to pursue that kill again, and Teemo does go down to the last tick on the ignite. Finally, they kill him. And there I take like 5 tower hits, just taking the tower for my team. This is pretty much going to be the game-winning push right now. Wow, minion. That was a Secret Service minion dashing in front to save that Shyvana's life. At this point, really, we have like 3 initiators, you know what I mean? Like, Leona's an amazing initiator, Lee Sin's an amazing initiator, and so is Jarvan. That was a wasted Cataclysm there, Pureshield. So that really gives us the advantage in a team fight situation, especially if you have aggressive players, you know what I mean? Like, if you're just going to play aggressive like Pureshield and I are at this point in the match, it's a psychological game. You may not have superior damage, you may not even have superior positioning, but if you have, you know, an aggressive initiate, in many cases that'll play an effect on a player's mind where they subconsciously just want to pull back because they're intimidated. And that can actually win you a team fight. There are so many psychological factors to League of Legends that people don't factor in. There we go, Leona moving in for a kill there, I believe. And I decided not to go in. If I could have spoken to that Leona, I would have said, no, just let him die. Because I don't believe we could have won that 3v3. Had I chosen to go in, though, it may have been a different outcome. It's really hard to say. However, again, I do want to go for that undying game, as I'm now 6-0-11. That's a pretty amazing score as a jungle Lee Sin who's been feeding kills to his team. Just you know, boost my own ego. Here we're arguing right now, should we get this dragon or not? Should we get it, man? Yeah, let's get the dragon. Pureshield's like, no, they know we're here. But they actually don't, because they don't have any wards here, as I can see now, because I'm spectating. And that was the right choice to make. It does look like we're kind of just... This is such a stomp. I didn't realize that it was 41-19 right now. But yeah, this is a really one-sided match. However, I just felt like casting it because I really enjoyed playing in it. And like I said, it's very uncommon to find a good team when you're just doing regular normal queue matchmaking. So I think we're getting ready for the final push here. We did just lose our Teemo, so it's going to make it tough to get a Baron. As a response, we're going to have to pick off at least one champion before getting that Baron. And I wanted it to be Soraka right there, but just a little bit too fast. Here we go. Graves looking to give up a kill right now, but I'm going to be able to close in there with a nice shield for him, and they're going to do this wise thing and pull back over. Kali decides to pursue that kill, and Jarvan's going to let it happen. Wow. Going to go down to an ignite there. And there I just picked up another kill with the red buff DOT. And I think Pureshield was kind of throwing me a bone here. It's like, yeah, I think we just give Hengest a triple. I think I've gotten a Quadra. Yeah, I've definitely gotten a couple Quadras on Lee Sin, but still no Penta on Lee Sin. And that asshole Rengar with his DFG build decided he's going to blow everything just to kill me and give up his life because he didn't want me to have the Undying. Wow. There we go. Jerk off just ruined my Undying game. I'm not that mad about it, honestly. That was a really fun match. But yeah, he did definitely make a point of shutting me down there for no apparent reason. I mean, actually, the exchange probably worked out in his favor just because I was worth 600 gold in hindsight, but yeah, whatever. Teemo kept pinging the pullback. He didn't want us to destroy the Nexus. I'm like, dude, that's really disrespectful to Pureshield because, you know, they could have taken the Nexus. I personally really don't approve of that, you know, not finishing the game when you could. I think it's disrespectful, but his justification was, well, his Teemo's been playing well all game. Let's just let him try out his build. And I'm like, all right, fine. Nice little KS there on Baron. And this is going to be the game-winning push for sure. Just one more team fight left. I lost my Undying streak. I'm not too broken up about it. I mean, there have been plenty of games where I have gone without giving up a kill. However, playing as an initiator tank, you know, someone who's supposed to die for their team, there's a little bit more to be said about it in that sense. And as you can see, all three initiators opening so hard right now. Nice little KS there with the kick on Graves. Just get an even number there for my kills. Overall, that was a pretty fun game to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as well. Nice little chill commentary for you. And definitely check that subscribe button, as we are going to be posting a lot of high-quality content here to the TGN Games channel. My name is Hengest. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.